Hey, my name is Rio Brown, and I'm the Service Life Manager here at San Diego Christian, and I am so excited to talk to you about service today. So when it came time for me to go to college, I thought San Diego Christian was a great fit, so I flew to San Diego. 4 years later, got my degree, and ended up working on staff full-time as a Service Life Manager. My passion for service started when I was actually in high school, and we did an at-home missions project on Maui. And it's where we volunteered all over the community, and it was the first time in my life where I noticed that there was needs in the community that I could help meet. Take a second to think about this question. What do you need right now? We all have needs, and we were created to help each other meet these needs. Today we'll be talking about the idea of service, we'll be talking about our culture, and lastly we'll be finding a way that you can actually serve in your community today. So in the beginning of the world, God created the heavens, He created the earth, He created the sky, He created the animals, and then He created Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve relied on God for everything. They relied on Him for their food, for their friendship, and God did something really unique. And He said, hey, I have these two trees in the garden. You can eat from this one, but you can't eat from this one. Satan, the enemy, came into the picture and he deceived mankind. And mankind ate of that fruit. And from that point on, sin entered the world. And not only did sin enter the world, but this idea of needs entered the world. From that point on, their needs grew. But at the right time, Jesus came into the picture, the Messiah, and He was there to meet every physical, spiritual, and emotional need. As we serve, we get to offer Jesus to people. As we serve, we get to offer the same life that has been given to us to His people. Living a life of service is what we were made to do. Think of someone who has served you or served your family. What did they do for you? How did it feel? All of Christianity rests on the concept of this: love God and love His people. In the New Testament, Jesus says it this way: you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And the second is like it: love your neighbor as yourself. All the law of the prophets depend on these. This is our purpose. Jesus calls us to love Him and to love His people. We can love His people through the way that we serve them, through the way that we are meeting the needs of the people around us. Sadly, the generation that we live in has taught us that our joy or our fulfillment in life depends on how other people serve us. When Jesus is saying, no, if you want to have life, I'm sorry, my friends, but you're going to have to give up your life for the sake of other people. So what would it look like if you today decided to say, I want to serve others? I want to live in an others first world instead of an I-centered world. How would living in an others first world change your relationship with your parents? How would living in an others first world change the relationship that you have with your roommates? How would it create opportunities for you to share the love of Jesus with the people around you? We were created to serve. We were made to serve. If you want to have a life that's full and that's of love and of grace, you will have to start serving other people around you. And it can start like this. It can start simply by saying, how can I serve? How can I love? How can I reach out into my community and share the love of Jesus? It doesn't have to be anything big or lofty, but it just starts by you asking a question to yourself: how can I serve other people today? I can say that I've experienced this firsthand. The more that I've served, the more that I've realized who I am. It started when I was in high school doing that at-home missions project, but then later on it kept going when I started doing more missions trips in the inner city of LA and San Francisco and even here in San Diego. The more that I gave my time and my effort and really my joy into something that was other than myself and other than my own needs is when I understood who I really am. Really, serving is all about understanding that your needs are not above the needs of someone else. God loves us and God serves us on a daily basis, and He calls us to love and serve other people around us. When you serve, you get to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. It's a part of the master plan that God has called us and designed us to serve other people the way that He serves us today. Paul tells us in the New Testament that God has created good works for us to do. He created these even before we were born. So the fact that you're sitting here today listening to me talk about serving, it means that you are alive and God has something in plan for you to do today, tomorrow, and the next day when it comes to serving Him. We at SDC believe this so wholeheartedly. It's been one of our longest running graduation requirements that our students would serve and love the community around us. And we as SEC believe that God has created you with a purpose, and you can discover your purpose through the way that you serve His people around you. I'll finish with a story. I sat down at a Chili's restaurant right here in Santee, and as I was sitting down, I noticed on our table there was a brown paper bag holding our silverware, our fork, our knife, and our spoon, and printed on the paper bag was this: we were put here to serve. If a Chili's restaurant can understand the purpose of silverware, that they are made to serve you, can't we understand our simple purpose of serving God's people? You were put here to serve.